Hey, Jermaine Griggs here, founder of HearAndPlay.com, back with another video. In this video, we are going to continue our series on playing songs from scratch. We're going to take another CeCe Winans song and we're going to learn it totally from scratch. No sheet music, no reference, no chord sheets. We're just going to take it step by step, chord by chord. And the song we're going to use is Holy Forever, originally written by Chris Tomlin, but I'm going to take the CeCe Winans version. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's put on our earphones and let's see what we uncover.
Thousand generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb.
Okay, I think we have a good idea. Beautiful, beautiful song. So, Jermaine, when it comes to playing by ear, what is the first step? Especially if I'm a beginner. The first step is you gotta find the key of the song, right? There are 12 major keys on this piano, and this happens to be a major sounding song. You can hear it, right? It sounds happy. It sounds regular, cookie cutter. Doesn't sound extraordinarily sad or melancholic, to use a big word. It sounds pretty normal. So it's in one of the 12 major keys, what I call planets. But we got to figure out, is it in C? Is it in D? Is it in the key of F major? What is it? And so what you're doing is you're listening for a chord that sounds like the home chord. The best way I could describe it is it's the chord that if this song were to end, the audience would clap. Doesn't take professional musicians to know. That sounds like an ending chord. That sounds like a amen. Like that sounds like it's over, right? And it's usually something that you can hum. It's the root, the tree, the bottom of the chord that sounds like home. And you can hum it typically over the entire song. And it gives you hints in this song. So if we actually rewind and play it again from the beginning, tell me if you can hear this home bass sound, that hum there. Now, none of these chords sound like home yet. Right here. See how that? It sounds like home.
Falling down in worship,
You have to be able to hum that tone.
of ages to the Lamb.
Okay, I think it's going to give us another hint right here.
And all who
Right there,
gone
right there.
before us, and all who will believe.
So this takes some practice, and I've got other videos. In fact, I have another video by CeCe Winans teaching you how to play a song from scratch. And that was the first thing that we did, was we had to find the key of that song. So what is that chord, right? And it's the bottom of that chord that you're listening for, what we call the bass, right? So I'm going to hum it. I want you to hum it first, and then let's see if you're humming what I'm humming. Okay, here we go. Right here.
Thousand generations falling down in worship to sing the song.
See how it works over everything?
To the Lamb.
Right? So the next thing we do is we have to find what we're humming on our piano. So I'm humming, right? 1,000 generations, da na 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 na, da na 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 da na na. So I'm humming, but I'm gonna start here. Nope. Feels like the top of a roller coaster. We're about to go down. Right? So this is in the key of F. And if you happen to already know your major chords, you can just play that major chord and it should sound very familiar. So when I actually go to the song and I hit F major, right when I think that that is a home bass chord, it should match up. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna hit F major. These three notes, right? It matches, right? It matches.
Falling down in worship
All right, so that's the first step, is you gotta find the key. And once you know the key, you wanna know the major scale of that key, right? So if we're in the key of F, this is the scale of F. F, and I'm gonna have it on the screen, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. In other words, it's all white notes and one black note, this B flat here. F is 1, G is 2, A is 3. It's this B flat that's 4, C is 5, D is 6, and E is 7. So step 2 is the melody, right? Once I know my scale, I kind of know the notes that I'm looking for in my melody. Most melodies are going to come straight from the scale. Now, you got two concepts with melody. You got stepwise melodies and you got skipwise melodies. Let me tell you the difference. Like when you see melodies that are scale-wise or stepwise, they're coming from the scale. So if the scale is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, you'll find things like, right? Stuff like that. 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 1, right? You get good at just knowing, like, you know that sounds like a 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, right? 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, right? Or backwards, right? Right? So forward, backwards. You kind of know, you can almost like zoom into 3 notes of the scale. And if you just practice those, like you can do a scale like that, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 just to get scale-wise, stepwise melodies in your mind. Now, skipwise means that you're skipping a tone. So you're hearing things like, right? It's not going 1, 2, 3. It might be going 1, 3, 5, or it might be going 6, 4, 2, or it might be going, 2, 7, 5, right? You probably heard that in this song, right? Right? So that's skipwise. For some ear training real quick, you tell me if this sounds like stepwise, like these notes are close together per the scale, or it sounds like they're skipping a tone, like they sound like more so when you skip a tone, technically you're playing chords. They're broken up chords, right? Because that's how chords are formed, every other tone of the scale. So what do you hear? Right? Stepwise, like coming down or up the scale, or do you feel like you're hearing a chord broken up, every other note? That is stepwise, right? Mary had a little lamb. That's skipwise because it goes from the 3, skips the 4, goes to the 5. Okay, so if you said stepwise, you're right. What about this? Right? What do you hear? If you said stepwise, you're right. Again, this is straight off the scale. 6, 5, 4, right? Okay, what about this? What do you hear? Does it sound like these are adjacent neighboring notes of the scale, or does it sound like something else? Well, what I was playing was A, F, D. That's the 3, the 1 of the key, and the 6, right? That's skipwise. But look at it. Doesn't it look like I'm playing every other note of the scale? If you think about it, I'm playing this, I'm skipping this tone of the scale, playing this, skipping this. See, so that's what's happening in the beginning of this song. They're going, right? But now step 3 is typically to listen to what the left hand is doing. And sometimes if it's not a melody driven song like this, I may even make it step 2. I may go for my left hand, my bass, my root, because that's going to tell you typically what type of chord, right? But let your right hand, let your melody, like a detective, give you clues, right? If I'm playing this, well, one thing I might want to try is this D here. But that's not what I'm hearing in the song, right? So what else can I try, right? These notes right here give me a hint. Do you know of any chords in the key of F major that have these chords in them? And so this probably would be a great time to introduce you to what we call the chords, the diatonic chords of F, right? So if you actually take every other finger of F, every other finger of that scale that we just covered, what you'll get is an F major triad on the first tone, right? On the second tone, if you take every other note, right, this is how you form chords in a key. You take every other note of the scale, you'll get G minor. On a 3, you'll get A minor by doing this same process, every other note. On the 4, you'll get B flat major. Now, if we're going, notice how these 2 notes are a part of that B flat chord. So over time, you just kind of get good at putting these things together. Hint, hint. The 5th chord, every other note, is going to be C major, right? And I'll have these on the screen. The 6th chord, every other note of this scale, D minor. And the last chord is E diminished. It's special. And these are the chords of any key, not just the key of F. The 1 is always major, 2 is always minor, 3 is always minor, 4 is always major, 5 is always major when you're doing 3-finger chords, 6 is minor, and 7 is diminished, right? So if I'm going, which one of those chords kind of remind you of these notes? Now, we know D minor, but that's not what it is, right? So this B flat here, right? That B flat chord seems to work if you listen to the song, right? Is this what you hear? Let's listen to it. Yeah. And then do you hear the bass going up or down? I'm hearing boom. And then I'm hearing 6-5, right? So we already hear our melody, right? That's what I'm hearing on the left. Now, we're kind of powering it up. So we got 2 B flats, but we've got what we call its 5th, right? It's a power 5th, and that's just F. You want to get good at knowing all your 5ths, right? I'll put them on the screen, because in your left hand, if you want to power up your left hand, you can just play 5ths. Every tone, if you know it's 5th, and I'll put them on the screen, you know, that powers it up. So if you add the 5th, but then also double up on the B flats, right? That's what's going on here. So it's going 4, 6, that's the 6th of the key, right? 5. And then the melody's going A, F, D, A, F, G. So a mixture of skipwise and stepwise motion, right? This is skip, and then that's step, right? While the bass is going 4, 6, 5. But again, now this is something that I should tell you in step 3. Typically the chords that are going, especially in songs like this, the chords that are going to dominate your songs are typically the 1, so the key that we're in, F, the 4, and the 5. These are what we call the primary chords. They're the most consonant. I like to look at being at home, right? It just sounds like home. Like we can clap. This could be the end of the song, right? The 4, I call this away from home, right? Because when you come back home, you're like, you feel resolution. But away from home, we can't really end here, you know? And then the 5, you know, the 5 brings us back home, right? So this is away from home. And then C in this case, the 5th, is coming home, stopping by the gas station, right? To come home. And then you have supporting cast members like this 6 here. It's a common substitution. Instead of coming directly home, right? Sometimes we like to come to our cousin's house who lives in the same duplex. So this cousin here lives downstairs while the 1 lives upstairs. So typically 1, 4, 5, and then add that 6 in there, okay? And you're gonna find that to actually be true in this song as well. So, right? So that's what's going on here. It's basically a B flat chord, right? To a C chord, okay? So B flat, and then you can add the supporting. So that's that same D minor, remember, on the 6th tone of the scale. But all we're doing is we've inverted it. So instead of this D and F being on the bottom, it's on the top, right? Because it's da, da, da. And then we're gonna play that B flat inversion, right? So you say, Jermaine, I thought B flat is like this. Well, it is, but if your melody is going A, F, D, you don't want to overshadow that melody by playing a B flat chord like this, because this B flat chord puts F on top. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna take this F off the top, I'm gonna put it on the bottom, And this is what is said to be second inversion. You've literally, right? This is root. Take the B flat off the bottom, put it on top. That's first inversion. Invert it once. Take the D off the bottom, put it on top. That's second inversion. That's what we're playing. We're just gonna play it down here. All right. So that's what I would do, right? And then when I hit this D, I'm actually gonna play the B flat chord. And then since I know that this is going to the 6th, when the melody's there, right? I'm gonna hit this D chord, this D minor chord, but I'm gonna hit it in this inversion to put the F on top. Because normally D minor could be down here. We're gonna invert it not once, we're gonna invert it twice in its second inversion. And then, since the melody's on this G, but I know my left hand is on the 5, I'm gonna hit this C major in root positions. And some people may not even hit the chords. They'll just let their left hand power it out because the left hand is kind of doing the sort of shell of it. It doesn't have all the chord tones in it, but it's enough for the ear to know what's going on, right? So, right? And then we got to move on. So what this song is doing is also what I call circular movement, because the melody goes on, right? So when the melody does this, are you hearing stepwise or are you hearing skipwise, right? If you're hearing skipwise, then it's probably going to be a chord that is outlining. Are you hearing something like, or are you hearing, like what does it sound like? Skipwise, these notes are right next door, or these notes are kind of skipping. You probably should have said skipwise, right? The second part goes, and for those of you who know, this is C major, right? But when I go and I think about my left hand, I'm not hearing that on my left hand. I'm hearing something else, okay? So this is where we're going to upgrade our chords a little bit, right? Remember when I said the first tone is major, the second tone, that's with 3 fingers. But now let's upgrade this a little bit because this song is using bigger chords, right? So instead of F major, we're gonna add another tone of the scale, right? Skip this tone, skip this tone. If you skip every other finger, but you hold down 4 notes, you're actually gonna get F major 7 on the 1. And then on a 2, you're gonna get G minor 7, right? So now we're playing 7th chords, but all we've done is we've taken our triad and we've just added another tone of the scale by skipping, right? Skip this note, play that note, right? On the 3, you're gonna get A minor 7. And herein lies the mystery. Like, how could this go, but the bass be A? Because it's actually an A minor chord. But those of us who know theory know that in every minor chord, there's a major triad. And the same is true for major chords. Like, look at this major chord. This F major 7, if you break it up, it actually has a A minor triad in it. Pretty fascinating, right? So major 7 chords have minor triads within them, while minor triads, notice this G minor, looks like a B flat major, but over G. So why do I share this with you, beginner? Because when you're hearing things like this, and you're like, man, this has to be a C major chord. And you hit that C and you're like, it's not it, right? Because that's from A minor, right? And then we can power that up, the 5th of A down here. Same thing here, right? This is like F major over D. Like if we kept going with our chords, right? F major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7. Well, on this tone, you're gonna get B flat major 7. Does this look familiar? It's doing a B flat major 7, really. All is like, if you already knew your major 7 chords, you would have just, right? It's actually the B flat major 7 that this melody is basically sort of outlining. And then on the 5, this is where you get your dominant chord. So if you ever heard of a dominant chord, that always occurs on the 5th tone of the scale, C, E, G, B flat. Check out this minor 7 on the 6, right? when we were just doing 3-finger chords, it was a minor triad. When you add the 4th finger, it just becomes a D minor 7. And one of my favorite chords, the Sunday morning chord, check out that video. This is an E half diminished 7. Note the difference, right? When it was just a 3-finger chord, it was called E diminished triad. But when you add that 4th finger, it becomes half diminished, right? So when we hear this, you know, now from a music theory standpoint, we know that this is not random. This is those notes that were chosen are outlined in the B flat major 7 chord, right? And then we know that this is D minor. We know that this is C major. Now when it goes, we know that we're already on C major, right? So we're already on C major. So we know it can't be C major again because our ear is telling us that it's a new chord, right? So my music theory tells me that, no, this is that A minor 7 chord on the 3, right? And that takes me to the 6. And over time, you're gonna realize that when you see an A, typically like a D is around the corner. When you see a G, typically C's around the corner, right? When you see a F, typically B flat's around the corner, just like it is in this song, right? Hey, really quickly, if you think this video is good, you've seen nothing yet. I want to invite you to our Gospel Music Training Center. It's our educational platform for musicians who want to really learn and master gospel music. We're the longest running platform for gospel music on the internet, having started August 2000, over 25 years ago. And all of our material from day one is in the Gospel Music Training Center. You can learn how to play praise, worship, shouting music, devotion, hymns, CCM, urban, choir. We've got everything in there. And most importantly, you can learn the language of gospel music in our flagship course, Gospel Grammar System. So head over to hearandplay.com/gospel course or click on the link in the description to check it out. We're currently running a $1 trial, so you can actually get in the platform and start learning right now before the monthly membership fee is even due. Don't put your dream on the back burner another day. Join the Gospel Music Training Center today. All right, so let's keep listening. So that's the whole intro. You guys pretty much have it, right? And then it goes, okay, that's just what we call a suspended chord. You need to know this. Whenever you hear that sound, I call it the happy birthday to you. And that's just B flat over C. It's the 4 chord of your key over your 5 bass. And if you want to, you can add the C in there. It's already on your left. And then that'll take you home. And that's what's happening here. So tell me what you hear, right? What do you hear after it comes home? That's the 1 chord. That's F, right? What do you hear here?
Falling down in worship to sing the song.
So what do you hear? Falling down in worship. Right? So whenever I see a D in my melody note, right, I have to ask myself, out of all the chords of the key, especially the 1, 4, and the 5, if the 1 chord's got an F, an A, and a C in it, is that a D? So it's probably not that chord, right? If the 4 chord's got a B flat, D, and F, that helps me out, but let me even just keep going. If the 5 chord's got a C, E, and G, that's not a D. So out of those 3 chords, it's probably falling down in worship, right? So your melody helps you to get the right chord. It's not random. So whether you are hearing a certain melody note and you can tie it to one of those primary chords, especially with a pretty sort of song like this, that's typically going to lead you there. Or you can listen to your left hand. We know it's on the 1, right? We can just trial and error. Try the 4 next, because the 1, 4, 5 are going to be the most popular tones anyway. So if I go, say I went to the 5 first, and I go, falling down in worship, that doesn't sound right. But, right? That sounds right. So that D matches up with that B flat. And then by the time I get back here, that A, right, out of my 1, 4, 5, which one has an A in it? Well, F major has an A in it, and it also sounds like a home-based chord, so why wouldn't I try that? B flat major doesn't have, not its triad at least doesn't have an A in it. And even if I'm considering the major 7, the 7th tone isn't like a strong tone of the chord. So I'm not gonna pick that. Sometimes it's the case, but I'm not gonna pick that over this strong 3rd tone. The 3rd tone of a chord is the strongest tone. It's what gives the tone its quality. Like this A tells me that this is an F major chord, because if it was an A flat, you know, that'd make all the difference. That'd make this a minor chord, right? So if I hear an A, I'm coming back to F in this key, right? And then if I hear something like a C, maybe an E, and a G, right, in my melody, that's going to, you know, cue me to the 5. So when you hit this chord, right, then you can go. Now, you can either hit this one chord like this, right? Sometimes you could take your thumb and add, I like to add the 2nd tone, right? If that's my regular 1 chord, I like to add the 2nd tone. It makes it more pretty. But we're going to invert this chord to be up here. But if you want to follow the melody, you may want to invert up A, G, G, F, right? And then and then you know the, right? So that's going to be your B flat chord in 2nd inversion, B flat major. But by the time you get to this A, you got to be back to your F chord, right? All right, so let's hear how it sounds. Now, I'm tempted to play this low because it seems like a low kind of song, right? But you can play it high. It's up to you, right? Right? So that's one version. Or you can start it low, right? Right? Then come. Right? It's up to you, right? The beauty of playing by ear is you can do what you like. As long as you're not sacrificing that melody, your audience can hear that melody. You've got the chords in the ballpark, 1, 4, 5 in this song, right? And it's a beautiful, pretty, easy song, right? So let's hear what it's doing from here. So we know it goes from the 1 to the 4.
1,000 generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb.
So I'm hearing it go, it's ending at Away From Home. It's ending at the 4 on this part, right? But it seems like it's walking to it. Now, the question is it walking up? Is it going da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na? Or is it walking down to it? Is it going da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na? So are you hearing it walking up, my first example, or are you hearing it walking down, right? So when I know sort of like my ending route, I can almost just back up in my mind and say, well, I was hearing a walk, right? Some kind of walk. And walks are typically stepwise, right? They're not skipping. Like they're going either half steps or whole steps, whether with the scale or sometimes even outside of the scale, like chromatically. That means note for note, like half steps. I'm hearing power chords, which are 1, 5, and then the 1 on top. That's what I'm hearing, right? Is that what you're hearing, right? All right, so if I'm putting these things together, if I'm here, that's the textbook D minor. That's supposed to happen in the key of F. That is the chord, right? There's the C major. That's lining up with the melody. And then that B flat is lining up. You know, we're getting kind of low down there, so I would go. Right? Something like that, right? So again, and remember, you're saying, well, why aren't you playing D minor here? I can play F major over D. Remember, that makes it a D minor 7. It's always a major triad in a minor chord and a minor triad in a major chord. So when I go, it almost feels like, right? Remember I said that D is kind of like it lives in the same duplex. The 6 lives in the same duplex as 1. Oftentimes I can go to the 6 instead of going to the 1. Like say the song didn't go to the 6 and walk down to the 4. Very interchangeable. Like it could very well just go to the 1. Right? But it sounds a lot better coming from the 6, right? Right? I like that. I like that better. So let's keep listening.
1,000 generations,
Right?
falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb.
Okay.
And all who've
Back to the
gone
1.
before us, and all
Back
who
to the
will
4.
believe, will sing the song of ages
6,
to
5,
the Lamb.
4. Right? So it's pretty repetitive.
Your name.
All right, so once the song gets going, you guys see what's going on, right? 1. It goes from the 1 to the 4, 1, 6, 5, 4. Now we're adding the melody. Right? And you would just do power chords on your left, or you can do chords and melody, right? So right? Right? So that'd be one way to do it. All right, let's listen and see what else is going on.
Is the
Back to the
highest.
intro.
Your name is the greatest. Your name stands above them all.
Okay, sounds like it's gonna repeat this.
All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your name stands above them all, and the angels.
So I'm hearing a melody note of D, right? While my bass is on that B flat. Like whenever you see D in the key of F, typically if it's not a D minor chord, then next best guess is that 4, that away from home. But remember in the beginning, it went from 4, 6, 5. This is kind of like a theme that's repeating here. Your name. And then it's gonna stay on that melody. And then it's gonna go to this C chord here as the melody goes high, right? It's like she's building your name, right? Your name, right? So now she's going to D minor. So it's like she's going from the 4, 5, minor, and then it's like back to the 4. So it's like a build up only to come back away from home. So we're away from home. We're not at home. Home would be this F, but we're just playing away from home. All right. Now, if you want to, I did a passing chord video several weeks ago. In between this, right, when you go, now it's just begging. Remember when you go to a minor chord in that passing chord video, I said you could do the diminished a half step before, except the only thing I'm doing differently, right? Normally that diminished would be here, but diminished chords are such that you can rotate them, put every note on bottom till you get the one that has your melody on top, right? So we're going, your name is your name. See, I wouldn't pick a diminished chord that like went way up here or something. I'm gonna pick the one that's already here, right? And I could put it in this drop 2. Drop 2 means you take the second highest note. This is kind of an advanced topic. And you bring it down here. So you don't have to repeat it basically, right? So this inversion and this voicing takes you perfectly to D minor, okay? And if you don't get that part, just leave it out, okay? So B flat, the 4, the 6 kind of like as a quick passing chord to the 5. Even if you left that 6 out, it would still work. 4, right? 4, 5, 5, and then 6 as a real chord, right? It's a real chord here. You can tell by where it falls, how much time it's given, the emphasis of it. But the first time you play it, it's just a passing chord, right? It's fast, right? And then the second time, that's the real D minor chord that takes you back to B flat, right? And it just repeats that, B flat again, right? Now let's throw our passing chord. Right? But I heard her do something else on that last chord, right? When it repeated for that second time, let's hear what it did.
Your name is the greatest. Your name stands above them all.
It goes to B flat.
All
B flat again.
and dominions,
D,
all
C,
powers
or
and
6, 5,
positions. Your name stands above them all, and the angels cry.
So I heard it go to the 2. That's a good switch up. So 4, right? 6, 5, right? Pass to the 6. And then it went to the 2, right? Now let me share something with you. This is another principle. You know how I said that the 1 and the 6 go together? Here's why, right? The 1 chord is FAC in the key of F, right? By just changing the bass to the 6, I don't even have to change the right hand. I get the 6th chord. I get, basically this D minor 7. It's basically the 1 chord, but with its cousin, right? Okay? But guess what? The same is true with the 4 chord and the 2. All I got to do is add that 2 to my already 4 chord. I tell people, if you know your primary chords, F, B flat, and C, there's no reason you don't know the other 3 chords, because you get this one for free. Just take your 1 chord, but put your 6 on the bass. Take your 4 chord, in this case, and put your 2 on the bass, right? And then here, take your 5 chord and put your 3 on the bass. So the 2, the 3, and the 6 come for free with the 1, 4, 5. And then leaving the only one left is this E diminished, or half diminished if you play 4 fingers. 3 fingers is E diminished, right? So when I'm here, it makes sense, right? It makes sense why it goes to the 5, and then it goes to the 6 the first time, and then it comes back to the 4, right? But if my ear tells me the second time, it does something different, right? Okay, right? Watch it. And then we're gonna go to the 6, but it doesn't go back to the 4. It goes to the 2. But look at my right hand. My right hand might as well be the 4 because of that relationship. Minor chords have major triads inside of them. So I'm not surprised. Like, ear players, right? When we don't hear the thing that we're expecting, then we go for the other thing, right? So I'm like, okay, let's go for the secondary chords. That gets me there. But none of this is random like people think it is, or none of this is like the notes just appearing in my head, right? Only 1 in 10,000 people have perfect pitch. No, you have to listen for these patterns, and you know a little bit about some rules, right? These diatonic chords and these secondary chords and these primary chords, right? And when you put it all together, now you're playing by ear without sheet music. But there is a method to the madness, and hopefully you're seeing it.
Holy, all creation cries.
And then this is just repeating the first part, right?
Holy, you are lifted high.
And that's going to the 2,
Holy,
5,
holy forever.
1. Okay? So let's repeat that part. Because that part is still sort of like basically what the intro was, right? So let's just hear what it is doing.
And dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all.
Oh, that's the one that goes to the 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 6. 2 instead of the 4. 5.
Holy
1. Okay? So it's basically doing the intro again, right? into that A minor, to D minor. Now it's going to that G, right? Right, and then it's just going to end that part on the 1. So the only difference is it's kind of repeating some of these things again. 4, 6, 5, and now it's going to the 3 to the 6. So instead of coming back to the 4, we know that the 4 works with the 2, has the same notes, right? Except the G is on the bass, and then we know that's going to take us to C. Right? And then it's just going to do this melody. G, A, B flat, A, right? And that's where we are now. Let's see what happens after this. Right? So that's that G, C, F. I'm just hearing F. Now we're back to the beginning, right? 4, 1, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, okay? 1, right? 4, 1, 6, 5, 4. Now we're gonna go to the 4, right? Oh, it's good. It's gonna repeat it. So I'm hearing. And then it just repeats it, right? All right, and then let's hear what it does after that. And then it's back to the same thing. To the 3. Then it goes to the 2. 5, 1. So your homework is to go over all of these concepts that we've done, right? Between the 1, 4, 5, the 6, and every once in a while, the 3 going to the 6, the 2 going to the 5, and coming back home to the 1. You've got all of the ingredients of this song, and now you can sit with it and match these ingredients to what your ear hears, and you can put it all together. This is the process of playing by ear. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It wasn't about just breaking down the song, right? You can go find tutorials that are 10 minutes that'll just say, play this, play that, play this. What I wanted to show you are how the concepts unravel and how they have to do with playing by ear. You've heard of the scale. Maybe you've heard of the chords that are derived from the scale, the diatonic chords, the triads, the sevenths, but when you put it all together, you see that that stuff finds itself into real songs, and this is how. I think that process is what this video is about and what I was trying to convey. So hopefully you got it. If you got to rewind this and do it again, that's okay. That's okay. And I want to invite you to our chord workshop. We do it weekly. It's over at hearandplay.com/gospel workshop. We break down songs like this step by step. And if you're really serious, I want to invite you to our training platform, the Gospel Music Training Center. We're the longest in existence. If you put Hear and Play in Google, you'll learn that we've been doing this for 26 years. And I want to invite you to that platform. It's got all of our VHS tapes, our DVDs, our courses, our lessons, over 2,000 songs, and so much more. You can find that at hearandplay.com/gospel chords. Jermaine Griggs signing off. And until next time, remember, if you can hear it, you can play it.